Kakashi's eyes widened as he read the medical report. He gazed at the doctors in front of him. Are you sure it isn't an error? We thought the same thing the first time, Kakashi-san. So we ran the test 3 more times. We don't know how it's possible, but... Kakashi reread the report. He would have to talk to this Sai tonight. 10 bowls, Tuchi-Gigi, Naruto yelled. I'm going to eat until I pass out. The same thing for me, mister, Naruto ordered calmly. Of course! He brought forth the bowls. Apparently, he had already prepared them for tonight. Tuchi-Gigi, Naruto's eyes shimmered with joy. Are they what I think they are? Yes, he confirmed. This is the deluxe miso ramen, created by the ramen deities themselves to satisfy our earthly appetites with a heavenly savor. Prepared by myself to celebrate this special day. Yes, thank you, Tuchi-Gigi. The girl immediately started to devour the food at a blinding speed. Naruto smiled at the spectacle. Ayame and Tuchi also looked amused. So you're finally a ninja? Ayame asked. The younger vessel nodded vigorously. Bang to Sai-Sensei. Naruto, don't talk with your mouth full. That's impolite. Was that the truth, Sai-Sensei? She swallowed. You're the best teacher ever, she claimed. You're that good? Ayame questioned. Naruto reddened a bit. Well, I'm okay. Perhaps you could train with me one day, she asked jokingly. You would make a good cook. Maybe. Never tried. Naruto looked up at him. I'm sure you would be the best, she smiled. Then you could prepare me some new dishes. He laughed. Let me guess. He locked eyes with her ramen. You read my mind, she said mirthfully. I knew we were made for each other. The discussion continued, and between Ayame's attempts at inviting him on a date, Tuchi's jokes and Naruto's fascination with the deluxe miso ramen, Naruto enjoyed the moment. He wanted it to last forever. Hello everyone, Iruka said, as he entered the ramen stand. How are you doing? He asked Naruto. She smiled and touched her headband. Very well, Iruka-sensei. I am very happy for you, he said kindly, before seeing the other vessel. He tried to hide it, but Naruto noticed the tension in his muscles. And you must be the famous Sai, I presume. The demon container nodded. Happy to meet you, mister. He shook hands with the man. As a fellow teacher, I have to congratulate you on helping Naruto to pass. You also have a part in this success. No, he said flatly. It's only when you took her under your wing that she had begun to improve. I should have realized sooner that she needed an individual's help. I take this as a personal failure. Don't worry, Iruka-sensei, she said. I did pass after all. Yes, but if you hadn't met your friend, you wouldn't have, he stated. I wouldn't have realized you needed more training and time, and you would have failed badly. It's all right, she assured. I forgive you. He smiled. I don't know what to say. Then say nothing, Naruto smirked, much to Naruto's amusement. But then Iruka posed a fatal question. Well, Sai-san, he said, when did you attend the academy? I haven't found anything on you within the archives. At least now he knew the reason behind the man's hidden tension. He had doubts about the teenager's identity. Naruto didn't answer. In fact, the silence was so awkward that he almost felt relieved when he noticed a figure standing on the top of the building behind them, unsealing a scroll and unleashing a wall of kunai upon the ramen stand. On the ground, he shouted as he took Naruto in his arms and sheltered her behind the bar, Iruka imitating them. Tuchi and Ayame had good reflexes and dropped to the floor. The weapons demolished the restaurant's facade. Impressive, a voice snarled. You're a fast bastard. Mizuki, Iruka shouted, horrified as he recognized the voice. What are you doing? My duty, Iruka, he responded. I am killing the demon for the good of the village. That's insane! Of course he is, Naruto snorted, as he took the kusanagi in his right hand, observing the man from an opening in the bar. You expect us to die so easily? Get your head out of the clouds. Do you really think you can defeat 3 ninja alone? No, of course not. You're like vermin. Awful but tough, Naruto saw him smirk. That's why I have brought backup. The vessel's eyes blinked when he saw a dozen ninjas getting out of the shadows of the empty street. The 2 guards of Konoha's gate, a disfigured man, one of the Chunin exam's proctors, 3 Ambu, and 3 other ninjas he only saw once or twice. They were all heavily armored and prepared to kill them. We have all agreed that having the demon brat as an official genin is a true danger to Konoha's safety, the man announced. And you, Sai, if this really is your name, I'm afraid your life ends here, fake ninja. Naruto frowned as he saw his 4 protégés stiffen beside him. Well, I kind of lied when I said I was a genin of Konoha, he explained. You never were, Mizuki shouted. No genin named Sai has ever studied in the academy. Who are you really? A spy? A pathological liar? Something else? None of those, the vessel replied, much to Naruto's amazement. I'm just a lone wanderer, lost on the road of life. Quoting Kakashi won't help you, one of the Ambu claimed. You're a danger to this place, and a demon lover. We can't allow the QB to receive any training. Naruto's eyes narrowed, and Iruka's glared at the attackers. Naruto stared at them questioningly. What are they talking about? They are trying to unsettle us, Naruto said. Mizuki had used the same tactic back in his homeworld, and he would not fall for it again. Stay hidden and flee with Ayame and Tuchi as soon as possible. Alert the Hokage. Iruka looked sideways at him. Sai-san, we can't defeat them all. Some of them are Junin. They are better equipped, and they outnumber us 6 to 1. We will simply delay them, he stated. I have a few aces up my sleeve. If only he could still summon the toads. Naruto sighed. Okay, in case I do not survive this, then let me tell you this. Naruto, my real name is Naruto Uzumaki. I'm a male version of yourself coming from an alternate universe, and your teacher will probably be a pervert. What? No time to explain. He channeled chakra inside the kusanagi. Immediately the sword grew, cut through the bar, and impaled one of the Ambu at a blinding speed. Before the shocked band of traitors could react, Naruto escaped the booth and made the hand seal sequence for the cage Bunshin. Immediately, 100 of his clones filled the street. Everyone looked at them in shock. All the clones smiled. Let's give these losers a lesson. A second later, the situation degenerated into a chaotic melee. Iruka could only watch mesmerized as he saw the clones of the blonde ganging up on Reidu and giving him a brutal beat down. The teacher, thanks to his detection sonar, quickly realized that they weren't normal clones, but solid constructs of chakra. He couldn't find the real one amongst them. Unfortunately, one blow was enough to dissipate them, and the teenagers' fighting style was still flawed. Some of their enemies successfully cut their way through them, trying to reach the escaping Naruto. A kunai in hand, Iruka silently attacked one of the Chunin from behind, gutting him. Another tried to kill him, but he successfully avoided his fists. Iruka then kicked the man in the balls. He fell on the ground with tears in his eyes, and later died with a shuriken in the head. If it's worth fighting for, Iruka thought, it's worth fighting dirty for. Naruto gritted his teeth as he blasted away an Ambu with a well-placed Rasengan. The other was already on him, trying to cut him in half with a sword, and the clones' numbers were dwindling. Yeah, half of the attackers had been defeated, but without the QB's chakra, Naruto couldn't make too many copies. He was already feeling tired, and his opponents weren't pushovers. Heck, the disfigured guy had risen and started fighting again, even after his clones had beaten the shit out of him. Need help. The vessel blinked as he saw a Chidori cutting through the Ambu's body. I am disappointed by your actions, Kakashi said, his Sharingan glaring at his victim. Betraying your charge. You only deserve death, he said as he withdrew his arm from the corpse. He locked eyes with Naruto. Are you all right? The vessel nodded, still somewhat shocked. Thanks. It's nothing, the Junin said. It's my duty to protect my teacher's heirs. Naruto frowned, remembering Orochimaru's words. Care to explain? I know you're related to Naruto, he announced as they ran at the proctor and the last Chunin standing. Your father, Minato Namikaze, was the best of us all. We all regret his death. Why didn't you help Naruto then? He yelled as he created a Rasengan and charged at the Chunin. Politics, he answered with a hint of anger. Konoha's authorities don't want the Kyuubi's container to be too strong, so they have forbidden all families from adopting her, out of fear that she could learn anything. I fear her Junin teacher will also be banned from teaching her more than the basics. Naruto felt the anger he unleashed on Orochimaru returning. The Sandaimyo. The Sandaime can't ignore the will of the clans, of the Council of Konoha, of its people. The Junin interrupted, while killing the proctor with a Chidori in the heart. Konoha isn't a dictatorship, unlike the other villages. Naruto narrowed his eyes. He would have a word with the old man as soon as possible. Damn, Iruka-sensei is a badass. Naruto thought as she saw him defeat two ninjas handily. And, Naruto-sensei really is powerful. But what was he talking about? Quick! Shunshin saved her from a kunai stab. Mizuki looked downright murderous when his blade cut through a ramen bowl. Naruto looked sideways at Ayame and Tuchi. Run, she ordered. They immediately left without saying a word. Why are you attacking us? She asked him. Why? He repeated. That's simple. You're nothing more than a monster? A demon? The Kyuubi reborn? Haven't you guessed why all of Konoha hates you? Just remember your date of birth. What? She thought as she realized what the man was talking about. Terror spread over her face. You can't mean. She only saw a wide and sadistic grin on his face. Yes, Naruto. The Yondaime didn't kill the Kyuubi. He simply sealed her into a human. You're the demon fox that killed thousands of people. She couldn't believe it. She couldn't move, even as she saw Mizuki's kunai thrown at her gut. That's wrong. Naruto's voice brought her back to reality. He was standing in front of her, the weapon caught in his left hand. Naruto is not the Kyuubi. She is his warden. A hero who doesn't deserve your hatred. She is a human, a girl worth respecting, and won't allow you to hurt her. Boss, she didn't know how to answer. You can't protect her alone, Mizuki yelled, as the two gatekeepers came to his aid alongside the bleeding but still standing, disfigured ninja. No. But he is not alone, a female Anbu stated, as she appeared beside the duo alongside Iruka and a silver-haired man. For having broken the Sandaime's law of silence, the woman continued. Your punishment will be death. Give up, Mizuki, Naruto told the crazed instructor. Your plan has failed. Oh, the first yes, he said, as made a hand seal sequence. But not the backup one. The guards attacked the Anbu duo, and the bleeding guy engaged Iruka in a taijutsu battle. A symbol appeared on the ground enclosing him, Naruto and Naruto. The girl found herself unable to move. What is this? She asked. The instructor said as he tore his shirt apart, revealing 100 explosive tags on his torso. And you are caught within it. Naruto's eyes widened as she saw the teacher explode. In a strange place, 9 spheres began to light up. A web of mirrors moved, and they trembled. Finally, a red light illuminated them, and the picture of a clearing appeared on them. A second later, Naruto and Naruto had simply vanished from the surface of this earth, and a massive blast destroyed the whole street, killing and hurting everyone in the vicinity. A flash of light illuminated a clearing. Sasori found himself looking emotionlessly at 2 blondes lying on the ground, right in front of him. Okay, he said. What happened? In her bed, Yuga Uzuki stiffened. Someone was there. She had been hospitalized after tonight's events, covered with burns and mentally broken when she had noticed the distinct chakra signature of a Junjutsu. A potent one. First her crushing failure at protecting Naruto, and now an assassin? Did she have the same bad luck as Tsunade Haim? So you are aware of my presence. It won't help you, however. Yugao locked eyes with the Sharingan. A second later, she wasn't at the hospital anymore. She was crucified, bleeding under a red moon. The man in front of her was hiding his face behind a spiraled mask, revealing only one hateful eye. He was wearing a strange black cloak with scarlet clouds on it. "Who are you?" "An Uchiha," she asked. "Where am I?" "The who is not important," he said. "The where, however?" He chuckled. "You are inside of the Tsukiyomi, a world under my total and absolute control." "An illusion?" "Yes," he answered, "but your pain will be real." Yugao glared at him. "What do you want?" The man laughed. "What do I want? Answers to all my questions. It's important. And the first is..." He approached her, until he was only a few centimeters away from her. "Who was that blonde girl that you were always following around? And what happened tonight? Where has she vanished?" Yugao's eyes narrowed. "I will never tell you." "You will..." A spear appeared from nowhere in the man's hands. "I can promise you," he said as he stabbed her belly with his weapon. It took her 3 whole days to crack. Leaving the hospital and the dead body of the Ambu behind him, Madara Uchiha teleported in the center of an empty street, which had recently been demolished by a huge explosion. The hole in space had left the very fabric of reality weakened here, and the immortal was confident in his ability to open it again. The situation was incredible. More than one reality existed in this universe. Even better, the Uzumaki team could travel between them. He didn't know how it was even possible, but this power was truly interesting. Madara was thinking on a whole new level. His master plan now seemed insignificant, and the existence of copies of Konoha was disturbing. He needed to recruit Naruto. With him, he would be able to do whatever he wanted, whenever he wanted, wherever he wanted. He would be almighty. The boy had been, like him, betrayed by Konoha and the Senju. It would be easy to coerce him into joining his crusade against the wretched place. If he couldn't be convinced. Well, force works too, he thought as he vanished from this world. Hello. Chapter 3. Me, Myself, and I. In a little town located in a country so remote, it wasn't even shown on maps. A 12-year-old boy was glaring at a merchant. "What do you mean by there is no oil left to sell?" The man shrugged. "All our stocks have plummeted after the beginning of Rain's civil war. Trade routes aren't safe anymore, so we don't have supplies. We are already rationing the food, and now the oil. Sorry, but we have to satisfy our needs first." For at least the 1,000th time, Naruto Uzumaki massaged his temples in frustration. It was the 3rd shop of the day, and the response identical to the previous. No oil left. And without it, Jiraiya couldn't use its flamethrower, its main weapon. Of course, he still had Orochimaru and Tsunade, but they didn't have Jiraiya's firepower. The first was only useful in close combat, and Tsunade was a fortress-type puppet, without any effective long-range weaponry. Leaving the establishment, the boy mentally ran a checklist of the remaining possible solutions to his problem. He could try to create his own oil, but it would be a long and difficult process. He could also try to steal it from a local civilian, but that would instantly result in an investigation, the last thing he would want. Sasori and him needed to stay incognito for their job, so the less he attracted attention, the better he would be. Finally, he could try to buy it in the nearest great nation. But since Sasori intended to stay low for a while, Naruto accepted the inevitable. He couldn't use his flamethrower for a long time. Leaving the town, Naruto ran towards Sasori's home. The man had acquired a house in the countryside, where he could practice his art without being either bothered or observed by anyone outside of his inner circle. The only people who visited them occasionally were either Sasori's agents or robbers. The first usually ended up leaving after a short stay, while the second generally finished their lives screaming as they were added to Sasori's collection or Kabuto's guinea pigs. Of course, since most of them were rapists and/or murderers, Naruto didn't feel sorry for them at all. In fact, he would probably experiment on them himself once Sasori taught him how to make his own human puppets. However, the blonde wasn't bothered by them in particular. He could kill hundreds of them without much trouble. But their increasing number was disturbing. Times of trouble were leading people on dark paths, who in turn perpetuated the problems. It was a vicious circle, one that had appeared again after Hanzo's fall, and the end of the hidden reign. No matter how well they try to hide it, the QB's deep voice resonated in his mind. Humans are still animals. They like to kill, to hunt, and to expand their territory. Their reasons always boil down to one: primal instinct. Then why do we have doctors? Why does charity exist? Why did we invent commerce and peace? Your kind invented doctors so they could fight much longer. Charity exists as the carrot of the carrot and stick duo. Commerce establishes a hierarchy between the rich and the poor, between the producer and the consumer. Peace does not exist. Its real name is truce, a time where humans can't continue their eternal war for some reason and need time before being able to kill again. Face it, if you want a vision of humanity's future, then imagine a man killing another. Forever. Naruto shuddered. The QB's view of the world wasn't cynical. It was downright depressing. It's the world that is depressing, not I. Your kind is the cancer of this planet. And its cure. The vessel felt almost relieved when he caught sight of Sasori's black house. The place seemed normal, but Naruto was fully aware of the many seals hidden under the ground. Sasori immediately knew when someone entered his property, and he could activate the defenses anytime he wanted. Fortunately, the boy wasn't in the missing nin's blacklist, and never had been. Opening the wooden door, Naruto mentally prepared himself for another creepy training session with Kabuto. The medic was a good friend to hang out with, but his fascination with corpses was disturbing to say the least, even more when Naruto was helping him. He acted like a child, happy at sharing his toys with a comrade. Which he was, by the way. But the time he entered the lounge, he only saw Sasori, sitting on an armchair. The man, looking like a normal red-headed teenager, was wearing a green shirt and blue pants, an outfit revealing his real nature to all. A living puppet, the ultimate result of the puppeteer's quest for immortality. "I was waiting for you," his mentor said calmly, his artificial visage expressionless. Naruto narrowed his eyes. Sasori always kept an ordered schedule, and never diverged from it. When it was time for his student to train with Kabuto, he was starting another activity. He never waited for someone, unless something unforeseen had happened. The vessel sat in another chair, locking eyes with his teacher in the process. "For what, may I ask?" Sasori smiled. Naruto shuddered. Sasori never smiled except when he was pulling a prank or celebrating a success. Naruto had the feeling he would soon find himself on the bad end of a twisted joke. We will talk about that later, but I can already tell you this. You will be very surprised. Okay, now the vessel was outright scared. Sasori didn't seem to notice. "Did you find what you were looking for?" "No," he answered. "They don't have any stock left for strangers." The man nodded. "As expected. One of my agents in AIM has informed me that Konoha has recently decided to support the rebels. Iwa has immediately responded by offering its help to the loyalists." Naruto frowned. They are going to start another shinobi war. It wasn't a question. Merely a fact. Yes. Told you peace was simply a synonym for truce. "That's insane," Naruto said. Sasori smirked. "Once again, Naruto, you mistake war for a mistake while it is a goal. The stone and the leaf had prepared for this day since the QB's attack. Out of this war, a superpower will be born. It's a gamble. They win, or they die. No middle ground, he sighed. But war is always good for spy masters like myself. Information is the base of warfare. Naruto narrowed his eyes. Sometimes I regret having followed you. The man stared emotionlessly at his student. Why? He asked, with a hint of surprise in his voice. Oh, the whole immorality of your job, the deceptions, the murders. The ninja world is built on lies and horrors, Sasori stated. Since the beginning of time, man has always sought to justify his actions, even if he had to lie to himself. Morals, good and evil, are simply a question of perspective. They only serve to delude people into thinking that their struggles serve a greater purpose than self-interest. Most humans are cowards and hypocrites, unable to admit the real reason behind their actions. Power. Damn, why are all of my friends cynical or pessimistic? Because we are older than you are, the QB chuckled. You are a fool, unable to see reality. You prefer illusions, since they give you a vague sense of futile importance. QB. Yes, monkey? Shut up. I don't want to hear you anymore. The demon stayed silent for a few seconds. Idiot. But anyway, Sasori interrupted Naruto's mental conversation. I have found something fascinating in the forest nearby, when I was gathering wood to create a new puppet. What? Naruto asked as he locked eyes with his mentor. Two blondes, the man answered. A teenager and a girl of your age. They are probably brother and sister. Naruto raised his eyebrows, and their reserves of chakra are huge, to say the least. In fact, one has more chakra than you. More than any Jinchuriki I have ever seen. Really? Naruto demanded, surprised. He had never seen someone with more chakra than him. He had the QB's power flowing in his veins, so he doubted that anyone could have more chakra than the vessel of the strongest of all Baiju. Sasori nodded. They appeared in a flash of light, and they were, and still are, comatose. I transported them here, and ordered Kabuto to examine them. The results, and especially the diagnostic of the blood tests, were unexpected. A creepy smile formed on his face. They are related to you, Naruto. The boy felt like he had been punched in the jaw. He had a family. If this is some kind of joke, I don't find it amusing. He still remembered the Sandame's words. You have no one. My parents are dead. The Uzumaki clan too. I don't have anyone else. Sasori's creepy smile returned, chilling the vessel to the bone. Oh, they are a lot more than mere parents. He rose. Come with me to the laboratory, my student. You will see what I mean. Naruto obeyed and followed Sasori downstairs. Kabuto's laboratory was rather luminous for an underground complex, though the phosphorescent seals were certainly helping. It was a large basement composed of white rooms, where the scientist could practice some vivisections without bothering his roommates. Entering the doctor's lair, Naruto felt the activation of the disinfectant seals, currently purifying his body. After a short walk, Naruto sensed the strange and unusual unease of the QB filling his mind. What's wrong? He asked the demon. I don't understand. I have noticed the presence of a Baiju nearby. A strong one. So, one of these mysterious strangers is a Jinchuriki. Apparently, but that's strange. It's chakra. Looks like mine. Naruto stopped walking, much to Sasori's incomprehension. Care to explain? I can't, vermin. I feel like someone watching his reflection in a mirror. A living mirror. Sasori, the QB, is disturbed. He says that one of your guests is a Jinchuriki. The man nodded. She is a... She? The Jinchuriki is the girl. Yes. What is her bijou? The nanabai. The nibai. The QB says its chakra looks like his own. Sasori simply smiled, blatantly ignoring his disciple's questions. He began to walk again, and Naruto followed him. Bastard! The duo reached a small room with 4 beds. Kabuto, wearing a cyan blouse, was watching over a sleeping teenager, probably 16 years old. A comatose girl looking like a female version of himself in an ugly orange outfit was lying on another bed. So she is the Jinchuriki. What is it? That girl's bijou is as strong as I. Its chakra is the same as my own. The Kyuubi is astonished. Even in his own mouth, it sounded strange. The bijou inside of her is as strong as him. Sasori nodded. Normal, since it's another Kyuubi. What? What does that mean? I demand an explanation, now. Kabuto gave the boy a sheet of paper. This is the result of the blood tests. Naruto read them and his eyes widened. From the depths of his mind, he could sense the Kyuubi's amazement. Dropping the report, Naruto immediately approached the girl before raising her shirt. On her belly, the same seal as his own. The shock was so great that he momentarily forgot the fact that he was acting like a pervert. What's the meaning of this? He demanded after covering the girl's belly with her shirt again, reddening slightly when he remembered that she was related to him. Kabuto chuckled. Well, it seems you have an older brother and a younger female twin. Congratulations. Naruto's jaw dropped. What the fuck? Oh, one of them is awakening, Sasori stated, as the teenager began to open his eyes. Man, that was a strange dream, Naruto thought as he became conscious again. Mizuki successfully killing me, and Naruto. Absurd. He eyed his surroundings, and noticed Kabuto at his side. For a few seconds later, Naruto found himself unable to move more than his eyelids. Then, he punched the traitor in the face, and missed, since the medic barely avoided the blow. Getting up, Naruto tried to take the kusanagi, but quickly realized that the sword wasn't attached to his belt anymore. The traitor had probably stolen it while he was sleeping. But as he opted for a Rasengan, Naruto fell on the floor, suddenly unable to move his limbs. Looking sideways, he saw a redhead with one hand steaming. Sorry to use this seal on you, little boy, but this is for your own good, the teenager said with a cold, emotionless voice. You should better listen, a blonde boy near him advised him. Sasori can be quite nasty when he wants to. Sasori. Naruto's eyes widened. Sasori is dead. Sakura had killed him, along with Kyo. The redhead smiled. For the first time, Naruto noticed the mechanical aspect of his arms. Kabuto grabbed him by his shirt and forced him to face the redhead. In a sense, I died a long time ago. The redhead smiled. For the first time, Naruto noticed the mechanical aspect of his arms. Kabuto grabbed him by his shirt and forced him to face the redhead. In a sense, he isn't the original Sasori, the vessel suddenly realized. He is an alternate version of him, so this wasn't a dream. Mizuki did explode. Perhaps the seal activated. Naruto looked at the blonde boy. He recognized him. He was a younger Naruto, wearing a green shirt and black pants, eyeing him with a pale face. I see. So I am in another, alternate universe. Alone. He wondered, before noticing Naruto on the bed. No. Not alone. He locked eyes with Sasori. What have you done to her? She was already comatose when I had found her and you, the redhead answered. And nothing will happen to her as long as you calm yourself and answer my questions. I mean you no harm, but I won't hesitate to kill her if you attack again. Naruto frowned. Since he was powerless and that Naruto's life depended on him, the vessel decided to acquiesce to the man's will. Sasori is dead, or at least, my world Sasori is dead. The man smiled. The other Naruto stared at him with a blank expression, and Kabuto smirked. Let's talk like gentlemen. Do you like tea? The puppeteer put his hands together. So, if I understand, you are a Naruto Uzumaki coming from another universe. And she, he glanced at Naruto, is a female version of you from a world different than yours and mine? Naruto nodded. The paralysis had apparently ended, but he knew better than attacking. He was in Sasori's lair, against an S-rank missing nin, and two of his helpers, alone. And without the Kusanagi. He was hopelessly outmatched, and if Sasori's pleasant attitude was any indication, so much that his host didn't even consider him a threat. The vessel briefly looked at Naruto, then at his younger counterpart before drinking his tea. While he knew that Sasori was a specialist in poisons, and that he didn't have the Kyuubi's chakra to heal him, Naruto was aware that Sasori could have already killed him if he wanted to, and that it was simply a manifestation of the man's power over him. It was also maybe a polite gesture. "You don't seem surprised, Sasori-san." Naruto attributed the missing nin's lack of reaction to his artificial body, but with that kind of person you could never know. Decades of shady activities must have reinforced his nerves and control over his emotions. "In my long life, Naruto-san, I have seen many strange things, and Kabuto's blood tests have already confirmed your genetic similarities with my student." He locked eyes with his guest. "If your previous attempt on my doctor's life is of any indication, I assume that your relations with your Kabuto were less than cordial." Naruto nodded. "He worked as a spy for you, but had in fact betrayed you for Orochimaru, the Sannin." "Yes. You had worked with him for a time as two agents of Akatsuki." "Akatsuki." Sasori's face stayed emotionless, but his voice was laced with surprise. "The revolutionary group from Amagakure." Naruto shook his head. "The criminal syndicate intending to gather all the Biju to take over the ninja world. The most dangerous team of S-rank missing nins to have walked the earth." Sasori narrowed his eyes. "Here, Akatsuki is an organization dedicated to end Hanzo's dictatorship over Amagakure. It was a pacifist movement at first, until one of the founders, Nagato, got assassinated by the salamander. The leader, Yahiko, has started a civil war, which will soon evolve into a world war." Sasori smirked. "Strange how things have evolved differently between our two worlds. What happened to my other myself?" "A friend of I and your grandmother, Chiyo, defeated and killed him after you kidnapped the Godame Kazekage alongside your partner, a madman named Idara." Sasori stayed silent a moment. "Killed by Grandma. I should have guessed. Who could beat me except her, my teacher? It must have been a battle to behold." How can he talk so casually about his own death? Okay, it was simply another himself's death, but still. You used more than 100 puppets, if I remember well. Sasori locked eyes with him, and both his younger counterpart and Kabuto stiffened. Naruto understood that the trio was bothered by his knowledge of the man's arsenal. At least he had an advantage. Battle. Ephemeral. Its memory will disappear one day. I hope to end differently. And about the me from this girl's world. Never had the chance to meet him. We teleported accidentally during a battle, when an enemy tried a suicide bombing near us. Accidentally? Sasori shook his head. If you were in danger, then this jump was needed for your survival. Perhaps the seal activated to save you and the girl from death, or maybe it is somewhat sentient. Would you kindly allow me to study it? As a seal master, I'm sure you will benefit from my experience. As much as he distrusted the missing nin, Naruto was also aware that he couldn't refuse, since he wanted to know if the seal could kill him anytime, or what had happened to the Kyuubi. Sasori was a seal master, and didn't seem to want him to die. Okay. Good. This is the beginning of a mutually beneficial relationship, my friend. He glanced at Kabuto. Why is the girl still asleep? Naruto said. Her name is Naruko Uzumaki. Kabuto, why is Naruko Uzumaki still asleep? She should have already awoken. I don't know, Sasori-sama. He was currently making a diagnostic with his medical chakra. But I have the feeling it has something to do with her Kyuubi. He locked eyes with the missing nin. Perhaps both Naruto would help better than I. And how do you expect us to help her, Kabuto? The younger Naruto asked. By going inside of her mindscape. Possibly. Since you have the same bijou, and your older self has had his for a long time. Maybe you are connected in some way. Or something like that. The younger Naruto sighed. Hey, my older me, do you know how to enter your mindscape? Naruto smiled as he closed his eyes. Of course. Then let's go. Naruto awoke in an art gallery. Though it wasn't really an art gallery. Instead, the place was an amalgam between his new mindscape and a museum composed of strange statues and puppet designs. The web of mirrors was shifting in front of a big, changing portrait of the Kyuubi. Naruto shuddered when the beast glared at him. What do you want, vermin? You're even uglier than my current container. Hey, you're not a model yourself. Briefly, Naruto realized that he was talking to the strongest demon he had ever seen, and the most arrogant of all Baju. But then he decided that the asshole needed to get its head out of its ass. I'm far better than a weak, idiotic blonde that has been defeated by a weak machine. The Yandame was a blonde and he crushed you. You can vent your frustration on me as much as you like, but it doesn't change the fact that you're just a caged pet. Damn, decades of insults had given him some experience with the "you suck" speeches. His shouting worked, since the portrait instantly became red, and the fox's face twisted with insane anger. I am no one's pet. No one's. Do you hear me? I am the mightiest of all Baju, you moron. If this seal wasn't there, you would be walking the earth, like some random beast. You should be happy to serve a purpose, you ugly battery. When I escape this prison, this battery will kill you, then force the Shinigami to resurrect you, and then kill you again. The Shinigami was the one who sealed you there, you idiot. I will tear you apart. I would like to see you try. Their exchange was interrupted by a laugh. Naruto looked sideways and noticed his younger counterpart grinning from ear to ear. Man, I always believed I was the only one to enjoy teasing the Kyuubi. I will try to remember some of your insults for later. You will respect me, you loser. Ignoring the enraged fox's shouts, Naruto shook his other self's hands. Happy to see you, Naruto. But the pleasure is all mine, Naruto. You're sickening me. Your soulmate is a bit loud. Why not leave him behind? You read my mind. Stop ignoring me. Come back. I order you. The duo ignored the beast's shouting, advancing through a corridor. Are you sure we will find Naruto's mindscape at the other end? The older one asked. I don't know, the younger answered. But since it is the first time I have seen this corridor, and that we are here together, I assume that our minds are somehow connected. Nice seal, by the way. Still, don't know if it's going to kill me or something, he said. Well, Sasori is here for you. My teacher is creepy, but he's always looking forward to increasing his knowledge on seals or puppets. He stopped walking. I can't believe I'm talking to myself. I know, I had the same impression the first time I met Naruto. The young boy began to walk again. Still strange. Naruto nodded. How did you meet Sasori? He asked. When I was 9, one drunk villager broke the Sandaim's law of silence and explained to me my particularities. I assume the Sandaime wasn't happy. No, the drunkard ended up in a sealed room with Anko and Hibiki. The older Naruto shuddered at the thought. The old man then decided to explain, in detail, what I really was. Konoha's sacrifice. I decided that, since the village hated me for something I wasn't responsible for, Konoha would be happy to see me gone, and that I would be pleased to never see them again. Naruto narrowed his eyes. Another Naruto abused. It was the second alternate universe he was visiting, and Konoha had acted the same way in both. Each time the Sandaime had done nothing. Each time, Kakashi and Jiraiya had never shown up. He remembered his discussion with the second Kakashi. Even if the clans and the civilians had asked the Hokage not to help him, the Sandaime was still a respected leader. He could have helped him. Kakashi could have helped him. If Jiraiya really was his godfather, then he should have helped him. He had to talk to a Sandaime. to a Jiraiya, to a Kakashi, no matter if they were simply alternate versions of the one he knew. He, and all Naruto across the cosmos, deserved explanations. So you chose to leave Konoha? The older Naruto asked. The younger vessel nodded. One night, I infiltrated a merchant's caravan and vanished from the village incognito. 2 days later, I was on my own, an orphan without food, alone in the land of fire. I fainted on a road the following day. When I awoke, I was next to a fire, and Sasori was reading a book in front of me. He asked me what a Jinchuriki was doing outside of his village. After explaining to him my situation, he offered me a job. After a few months, he decided that he should leave a legacy, in case he died prematurely. Judging me worthy to be his disciple, he proposed to teach me his arts. I accepted immediately. He smiled. And you, what happened in your homeworld? I stayed unaware of who I was until my graduation, when I was 12. Some crazy man broke the law while he was trying to kill me. I became a genin, had many adventures, until one of my teammates chose to betray Konoha for Orochimaru. I tried and failed to stop him. After some attacks by my world's Akatsuki, I went on a mission to find my treacherous teammate, which went horribly wrong. I ended up locked in a fight with Orochimaru, who twisted my seal in the middle of our battle. I killed him, but the dysfunctional seal teleported me into Naruto's universe, then into this one. The younger vessel nodded. And her? What happened in her world? She has the same story as my own, but I met her a week before her graduation, changing the course of her life. The duo arrived at the end of the corridor, and inside a sewer, the older Naruto frowned. That was how my mindscape looked before the seal got twisted. We should catch sight of the Kyuubi's prison very soon. And effectively, they found themselves in front of a huge cage. 2 gigantic red eyes were staring at them. I was waiting for you, mortals, the fox announced. Naruto was asleep under the sewer's troubled water, right in front of the seal. The older vessel frowned. So you're responsible for Naruto's condition? Yes. I wanted to talk to you, and to my counterpart. This Kyuubi seemed more slender than its other self, and its fur was paler. The mindscape changed form. In a few seconds, the Kyuubi's portrait appeared behind the duo, and the web of mirrors at their left side. The 2 Beiju remained unimpressed by the other's presence. So we are in the same situation, the caged Kyuubi stated. Our vessel's gender differs, but our seals are identical. It seems, is your container an annoying brat too? Unfortunately, yes. The Kyuubi's portrait sighed. Are we all cursed to be sealed in these idiots? Hey! The 2 creatures superbly ignored the younger Naruto's shouting. To be honest, I hope not. Maybe one of us didn't get caught by the Shinigami's hand. Probably. We are the ultimate beings. Many of us must be still free. Both the younger and older Naruto sighed. I didn't know that all Kyuubi had such a big ego. The younger one whined. Why not checking these possibilities? The Beiju in the cage eyed the web of mirrors. If this device is the cause of our meeting, then maybe it contains the answers to all our questions. The other Kyuubi nodded. Strangely, I don't sense our brethren's presence in this place. But these spheres, I can see its chakra in them. 9 spheres for 9 tails. But what contains the 10th? Its mind, perhaps. We are chakra. We don't have a mind separated from our being. The seal has been made by the Shinigami, a god. Its powers are unknown, even to us. When the snake twisted the seal, perhaps a leftover of its being has awakened and modified it to avoid the container's death, giving him the ability to cross the barriers between the worlds in the process. Possible. The Kyuubi looked into the older Naruto's eyes. Little man, it seems that you have a godlike ability. The power to go wherever you want. Aren't you happy? I still don't know how this power works, he pointed out. Strange. What did the Beiju want? For now. For how long? Once this Sasori examines your seal, you should find a way to use this device in one way or another. And with it, you will be almighty. What will you do with it? Will you try to return to your homeworld? Create your own village? Rule all universes? Naruto frowned. I haven't thought about that. But if I gain this power, then I think I will use it to help my other selves. 3 worlds. 3 Narutos had been abused by Konoha, losing their childhood in the process. 3 hadn't had a family. How many others? The Kyuubi smirked, an act that chilled Naruto to the bone. So you want to give a hand to your less than fortunate counterparts. This quest might last until your death. Naruto smiled. I have always been determined. A quality we have in common. Bizarrely, a polite and calm Kyuubi looked even more frightening to the 2 awakened vessels than a furious one. I want to talk with you, and you alone. Everyone stared at the Beiju with a questioning look, and in the second Kyuubi's case, a malicious grin. Immediately, the younger Naruto fell asleep, much to his counterpart's horror. He didn't know the Kyuubi had that power.
The beast's grin widened. My chakra is flowing in his brain as much as in his muscles. I can't control him, but I can banish him in his subconscious for a time. He eyed his counterpart. I don't know what you have in mind, but I suppose it doesn't concern me. Goodbye, he said as he vanished from the mindscape.
The caged Kyuubi locked eyes with Naruto. Naruto, Uzumaki, are you aware of your parentage? Naruto's eyes widened. My father's name was Minato Namikaze, and my mother was called Kushina Uzumaki. She was my Kyuubi's previous Jinchuriki. He was slightly taken aback by the question. The creature nodded. She was my container in this world too, before someone ripped her seal and mind-controlled me into attacking Konoha. The traveler frowned. Do you expect me to believe your innocence? Believe what you want, it's the truth. The day of Naruto's birth, a man named Madara Uchiha took her hostage and extracted me from Kushina, killing her in the process. The memory of a clone came to Naruto's mind. The fallen lord of the Uchiha. Wasn't he dead? Now he is, since Naruto's father killed him, Minato Namikaze. Arguably the greatest shinobi to have ever walked the earth. The creature eyed him emotionlessly. I can tell you more about him if you want, but this will hurt you deeply. Naruto stayed silent a few seconds. Why are you telling me this? Because I don't want to antagonize you. You're responsible for my container's safety, and as such I owe you a favor. In fact, I think we can collaborate. Not to appear impolite, but aren't you a demon wanting to escape this prison? Why should we collaborate? Because I don't want to escape this cage. What? The Kyuubi chuckled at Naruto's surprised expression. I don't want my freedom because I am intrigued by your ability and by the existence of different worlds. I find your intention of traveling between universes entertaining and amusing. I can see through my vessel's senses, and I have taken a liking to the tragedy of humans' lives, to your emotions, to your constant struggle to live. It's like a play to me. It smirked. So, bored as I am, I think your travels will amuse me more than rampaging through a random world. That made some twisted sort of sense. That sadistic creature probably wanted to try something new. And why not beginning by telling Naruto awful truths? I see. What do you offer? My support to you and Naruto when I want to give it. So, it is going to do what it wants, when it wants. Well, at least it is more polite than my own Kyuubi ever was. Nothing more? My knowledge. So, it narrowed its eyes at Naruto. Do you want to know more about your parents? Naruto hesitated. The Kyuubi was probably the only being able to answer all his questions, but it wasn't the most trustworthy source of information. He would have to confirm what he heard. I'm all ears. The creature's grin grew. Minato Namikaze was also known as the Yondan Hokage. Horror spread over Naruto's face. Naruto could barely restrain the need to laugh at the spectacle. I'm not a pervert. Yes, you are, the girl said as she punched him in the jaw. The doctor told me everything. You peeked under my shirt, you molester. She started kicking him while he was down, lying on the grass outside the house. "You're overacting. You're not even attractive. You're..." His suicidal words only made his punishment worse, because the girl then decided to attack a few sensible places of his anatomy. The young boy screamed loudly. Beside Naruto, Sasori was looking at the spectacle with a neutral expression. "I have analyzed your seal. I have an idea on how it works."
Naruto calmed himself. "Can you explain, Sasori-san?" 2 days had passed since his visit in his mindscape, and he was still conflicted about what he had heard. If the Kyuubi was right, then the one that sealed the Biju inside of him, Naruto, and his counterpart, was their own father.
He still didn't know how he would explain that to the two children in front of him. The speculations of the two Kyuubi are correct, but not totally. The 9 spheres do contain large amounts of chakra. "But I don't know what is kept inside of the 10th one," he said. "The seal is linked to your subconscious, and probably activates on its own if you're in a very bad situation. In my opinion, you can use it at will if you visualize a place well enough. If you wish, you can probably take companions for the ride." Naruto nodded. Sasori glanced at him. "When do you want to leave?" "Tomorrow." The different universes were slightly similar, so there was a high chance that the people he would meet in the next world were relatively the same as the ones he knew. A meeting with a Sandaime would be an opportunity to verify the knowledge he had gathered. Sasori stayed silent for a moment. "You don't lose any time. It's a quality. But you will have to take me and Kabuto along for the next ride." Naruto locked eyes with him, completely surprised. "Why?" "Because I want to confront my art with my counterpart's work. Exchanging knowledge between puppeteers has always been one of my top priorities. I left my village because they were limiting my potential, and the potential of all puppeteers. Meeting another Sasori, who had decided to take another path in this science than my own, would be a wonderful experience." Naruto nodded. During these days he had learned something about Sasori. He was completely obsessed with his art. His job as a spy master was simply a means for him to improve his work and gather resources, nothing more. "Why not? Having you along with us will certainly help. I'm sure you know how to infiltrate Konoha without attracting attention." "Yes," he agreed. "I can easily make some forgeries, allowing us to travel incognito."
"And what about you, Kabuto?" Naruto asked the medic, who simply smiled. The memory of the impaled traitor from his world returned, but he repressed it.
"I have to admit that I am fascinated by the existence of alternate universes. Naruto-san," he answered. "How many are there? How have they come into being? What changes from one to another? I intend to find an answer to all these questions." Naruto nodded, before finally deciding to verify the Kyuubi's words. "Sasori-san, may I ask you a question?" Sasori didn't respond, and the vessel took this as a yes. "Do you know the Yondaime's real name?" The puppeteer stared at him in the eyes. "Why do you want this information?" "I want to know if he has descendants." "Like you," he smiled at Naruto's obvious surprise. "Don't be taken aback. I have done my research on my student's parentage as well. And yes, the Yondaime, Minato Namikaze, is his, her, and your father." Naruto closed his eyes. It infuriated him to no end, but the source of their shared suffering was their own progenitor. Does he know? No, he only knows some parts of his family's past, but not much. He's not mature enough to accept such reality without falling into depression. I want him to be fully functional before telling him. Naruto repressed the urge to scold the puppeteer for talking of his student as if he was a machine, but stayed silent. It was simply in the man's nature to act like that. Once he decides to forge his own destiny, but not before. Sasori sighed. "Do you intend to tell your disciple?" The wanderer kept his eyes closed. On one hand, it was Naruto's right to know about her parentage. On the other hand, she had only started to enjoy her childhood. She had just learned her first awful truth from Mizuki, and the revelation would probably break her. No, he decided, hating himself for it. I want her to heal from her mental scars, to enjoy her new existence. This revelation can wait for a year or two. Sasori didn't answer for a time. We are more alike than I thought, Uzumaki Naruto. Really? Yes, Naruto, we are leaving for another universe. She bit her lower lip. And Iruka-sensei. And Sandaime Jiji. And Ayam-chan and Tuchi Jiji. I don't know if we will end up in your reality or another, sighed Naruto-sensei. She remembered, answered. But we will have to assume that we won't see them again, not the ones you have known. We will probably meet other versions of themselves, but not the people of your world. It's a bit complicated, she stated. Why couldn't things be simpler? We are going to meet them, but at the same time they won't be them. Pretty much, yes. You will understand when you see them. Sure, but I'm still confused, Naruto-sensei. She saw the other Naruto arriving with 3 scrolls on his back. She glared at the pervert. What are you doing here with those scrolls, peeping on our conversation? He glared back. They are the scrolls containing my puppets, you idiot. You're a bit old to play with puppets, child.
I'm as old as you. And they are weapons.
Are they puppets, or are they weapons? You should decide, you psycho. You're the psycho crazy girl. Lecherous pervert. Flat lady. Naruto reddened. Shut up, you green eyesore, says the girl in orange. Attention, whore. Grain mad. Would you kindly shut up? Sasori asked, as he arrived in the clearing. The whole country is listening to you. Kabuto smiled. Why did you stop them, Sasori-sama? It was quite the show. Sasori simply sighed. When the sun was about to disappear behind distant mountains, Naruto looked at his team. Sasori had chosen to wear black pants and a vest of the same color, while Kabuto was dressed like Shino. The 5 were all holding storage scrolls on their back. Damn, if I had known I would have to travel with Sasori and Kabuto. Everyone ready? He asked, instinctively touching the Kusanagi sword attached to his belt. Sasori had given it back, and even gave him some pointers on holding it, even if he wasn't a sword master. He hoped to find one soon. They all nodded. Naruto closed his eyes. I will try to teleport us to the forest near Konoha, he announced. The image of the place appeared in his mind. Channeling his chakra, Naruto sensed the seal burning under his shirt. In his mindscape, he looked at the web of mirrors. In one of them, the image of the forest, Naruto touched it. The 9 spheres illuminated everything. In a flash of light, the 5 of them disappeared. Carefully hidden behind a tree, Madara Uchiha observed his 5 prey as they vanished from the face of this earth. He inwardly cursed. The immortal wasn't proud enough to be blind to the truth. Alone, he couldn't defeat 3 Jinchuriki, a medic and Sasori, at the same time. He needed help, badly. If the team continued to expand, he would have to find allies. But he had left all of his pawns behind in his homeworld, and he couldn't access it without his Naruto's power. But who would be willing on this earth to help Madara Uchiha? Wait, there was one person. The immortal ninja teleported to a graveyard, full of the bones of ancient monsters. He sat on a rock and patiently waited for his friend to manifest. He didn't wait for long, since a man in purple robes with the Uchiha crest on them, wielding a fan, and wearing a white mask looking like a Sharingan on his face, along with a blue bandana, teleported right in front of him. From 2 holes, 2 eyes, one red and the other purple, were carefully studying Madara. How is it possible? The man with both the Sharingan and the Rinnegan asked. Madara chuckled. Let me tell you a little story. My other self. Chapter 4. Darker Side. Sakura, where are you going? Haruno Mabuki asked her daughter. Her little girl smiled. I'm going for a walk. You're going to stalk the Uchiha again, aren't you? Sakura's expression made her mother sigh. Sometimes, I wonder if your obsession with him isn't pathological. There must be other boys than him at the academy, no? Yeah, but they're all losers. Even the clan heirs. The Inuzuka looks cute.
Mom, she whined. He is always with his dog. Akamaru is adorable, but I don't want to sleep next to him like Kiba does. I would rather date Naruto than him.
Nabuki's look hardened at this admission. Sakura, you know that I don't want you near that boy. He's bad news. I know, Mom. She rolled her eyes. I was just joking. That, and I don't think he would take my attempts at scoring with him well. Not after Hinata's death, she added sadly. Nabuki narrowed his eyes. The tragic fate of the Hyuga clan was still vivid in her mind. What does he have to do with the Hyuga heir? The events had happened like the destruction of the Uchiha clan years ago. One day, Hinata Hyuga died under mysterious circumstances. The day after her funeral, her whole family had been eradicated. In one night, men, women and children were savagely murdered by an unknown assailant. While traces of a fight and the bodies of everyone were found, the police force found itself unable to identify those responsible for the massacre. This time, the famed clan genius hadn't defected. Neji Hyuga had been assassinated next to his uncle. The terrifying event scared the whole village. Had Itachi Uchiha returned? Had a new psychopath emerged? What was the motivation of the killer? Would he strike again? And simply, how could someone wipe out the strongest clan of Konoha in one night without leaving a single survivor behind? Even the demon couldn't do that. In fact, he was always with her, her daughter said. They were great friends. In fact, sometimes I wonder if he had a crush on her. Nabuki repressed a laugh. The demon, in love with the young Hyuga. He must have been sad. He was completely broken. He hasn't pranked anyone since her death. Nabuki didn't respond. She knew, unlike her daughter, that the demon couldn't love anyone. He couldn't feel anything but joy at the death of others. He must have faked his sadness to better hide his true nature as a remorseless, selfish, and destructive creature. I see. Anyway, I hope I'm not on his team, Sakura stated. The assignments have been delayed after Hinata's sudden death, but I will probably be in Sasuke-kun's group. She smiled. Believe it. Nabuki sighed. Anyway, come back for lunch. Yes, Mom, she shouted as she left the house. Hidden in the shadows, he looked at the young girl. She was happy, and he wasn't. Kill her. Bleed her dry. Make her beg for your forgiveness. No. He was happy. 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 He was No, you aren't. She has stolen your sunshine. She must die for you to feel good. No. Oh no, no, no. The impulse was coming. He tried to repress it. He had to think about something else. Not about killing her, no. He closed his eyes and thought about his last meal. About his successful graduation. About those who had passed too. And then he thought about Hinata. They were all dead. All bleeding, these broken dolls. His senses noticed the little girl hiding behind the door. He turned his head to face her. I know you're here, she squealed. No, the dying clan head muttered. Not my daughter. Please, not Hanabi. He sneered at him. I will make you watch. You will be as helpless as I have been.
His claws cut through the wooden gate.
He returned to reality, now red. The girl had just entered a street. Kill! Tear her apart! Make her scream! He didn't resist. He couldn't. The voices were too strong. The bloodlust was too great. He had lost the battle against himself again. Where is she? Mibuyuki questioned herself. She's an hour late. Getting out of her house, the mother looked at the empty street. Sakura! Where are you? She shouted. Nobody answered her. Sakura! She yelled, silent. Sakura.
To Izumo, the group in front of him was a strange one. This merchant caravan was truly atypical. None of its members were older than 30, and they were a truly disparate ensemble.
3 of them looked like they were brothers and sisters, which they were. All blonde, all with green eyes and all with a pale skin. Izumo briefly mistook the littlest boy for the demon brat, until he noticed his lack of whiskers marks and the different color of his eyes. The 2 other members were older, but barely. One was a young man with black hair and glasses, the second a redhead, and the spokesperson of the group. Here is our identifications, Mr. Guard, he said as he gave him some documents. After having read them, he gave them to Kotetsu. Is everything in order? His friend nodded. They are perfectly authentic. I recognize the daimyo's signature. Izumo returned the identifications. Then, welcome in Konoha, Shinja-san.
Shinha Takano nodded, while Adaki Tojo smiled. The blonde teenager, Kazama Arashi, thanked them, before taking his 2 siblings, Akane and Chibaku, with him as he crossed the gates, the other 2 behind them.
As they disappeared, Izumo found himself praying for their safety. With the current murders in town, they would need it. I can't believe it worked. Kabuto smiled, but it did. The effectiveness of your advanced henge is incredible, Kazama-san.
Naruto Uzumaki, also known as Kazama Arashi, smirked as he continued to walk through the streets. Thank you, Adaki-san, but you also had a part in its completion. He would never have guessed that his sexy no jutsu could be used like this, and he certainly didn't expect the medic to make it hold under force. A true physical transformation that couldn't be dispelled easily was the perfect disguise, as it had shown itself to be.
Of course, Aniki's jutsu is incredible, Akane, or rather Naruto, declared. He's the best ninja in the world. The younger Naruto, Chibaku, snorted. He is competent, I admit, but Shinja-sensei is the one who holds the title of best ninja in the world. He defeated our counterpart with only 1 seal.
That didn't count, she said. He attacked him from behind and threatened me. In a straight fight.
There is no straight fight with ninjas, he pointed out. There is no such a thing as fighting dirty. Then why does the expression exist? She asked. Because it is used by samurai. She snorted. Whatever. The young puppeteer smiled slyly, before eyeing Sasori. Why not testing that now? I won't fight Kazama-san, the artist stated. We all have more important things to do, and such a duel would blow our cover.